Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. So one of the most scariest things, one of the things I was most terrified ever since starting my YouTube channel started to happen on my channel, and I want to talk about how it feels and also why it's actually not as bad as I thought. So the thing I was so scared of is that I would start losing followers. I've been on YouTube for 8+ years at this point, and from the very beginning, it was a one-way trip, which was up, right? We were just going up and up and up, growing and growing and growing. I heard about other channels that, died or people lost interest, losing relevancy. And there was a part of me that was so scared that at some point that would happen to my channel. This summer, really this fall, when I moved and I was having to focus on just my just my real life, just making sure I had a place to live and I had food on the table and I was all right. I was not giving attention and energy to my YouTube channel, and unsurprisingly, the subscribers started to drop. I also hadn't put out any other videos that were like big splashy viral videos, because there's always kind of a churn that's happening with your YouTube subscribers. But if you have these big hit videos, you're not really feeling it because you're always having more subscribers than less. And this was the first time I was actually feeling it. And so I want to share that there is sort of like an intellectual understanding of what happened where I recognize that it's actually a good thing. But I also want to share like the emotional energy side of it, because it's really easy to believe that everything is working out for you, that everything is going to be fine. Everything around trust and faith. These things are super easy when the outside world mirrors that, right? The real test is when you're seeing things in the external world that don't seem to match your narrative. Can you still connect to the truth of it's truly all for you? And I feel really grateful because I have that capacity, and I use experiences in my external that cause me any kind of pain or suffering to process those feelings and release them so I can return to my baseline of joy. So first, I want to talk about sort of like the intellectual reason why this is in my best interest, right? So if you look at my channel, I have a lot of different things that I have talked about, and I have had a lot of different types of videos go viral. And with every viral video, that's brought an influx of people to my channel. And so there are people who have come to my channel because I got eye surgery one time. There are people who have come to my channel because I shaved my head. People who have come to my channel because I talked about some other YouTubers and what they were doing in the bedroom, right? People have come to my channel because I quit my job or I quit weed. All of these random things, right? And as you can imagine, as I talk about some of the other topics, and especially now as I focus on the creative journey and supporting people as a creative coach, people who came because they wanted to see me shave my head or because I got eye surgery, that content isn't relevant to them. And so it's actually a good thing that those people are leaving, because when I make a video, and the video can be amazing, but if it's not what people want, if someone's subscribing to my channel because I was talking about some other creator cheating on somebody else, and then this video I'm like, hey, here's how to show up comfortably on camera, they're gonna be like, this isn't relevant. So they're not gonna click. So YouTube is gonna think, oh, this video that she made, it's not really relevant, it's not really helping people, it's not leading to higher watch time and engagement, so we're not gonna show it to other people who it could be a great match for. So it's genuinely a good thing that these people kind of leave my channel, and that way the only folks who are remaining are the ones who genuinely care, and the folks who join are the ones who are really aligned with what I'm talking about now. And I want to say it does take discipline to actually have a focus as a creator, and it makes it really important to understand why you are creating, because if you're creating because of an emotional need, right, you need to get some kind of validation or feel good about yourself or something else, you're gonna keep chasing whatever thing can hopefully help you get a lot of views, get a lot of virality, so that you can have this feeling of, okay, people like me, people care about me, right? So the shift that's really happened for me is I just focused in on YouTube being supportive of my coaching business. And it's so interesting because I'm making the most money I've ever made. So my subscribers are going down and the views are going down compared to where it was before, but then my money is going up way, 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 way more, right? And I am very happy. I'm very okay with this. I'm very cool with this. I do expect there will be a stabilization at some point and then the growth will return. but I'm very happy with the trade-offs. And I think, you know, with my most recent video that went viral where I was talking about these other creators, I mentioned how I had a bit of an internal discomfort with what I was doing because I recognized it would get me a lot of views, which would translate into money, but at what cost, you know? What I hadn't considered was the cost of having a bunch of subscribers who weren't aligned to what I was overall talking about on my channel and to my overall vibe on my channel. I was watching a great video by Anna Sabino. She's a business coach on here. And she talked about the same thing. She, you know, is a business coach, but she made a video that she knew would go viral where she did a New York City apartment tour. And it brought a lot of people to her channel, but of course that's not what she was talking about day to day. And I didn't consider that as I was making my video. And I think it speaks to the subtlety of listening to our own inner knowing, right? When we're really tied into, well, I want money and I want attention, lack basically. I need all these things that I don't have. That'll drive us to do things and show up in certain ways that aren't ultimately supportive. And whenever we have some kind of inner friction that's saying, yeah, I actually really don't know, like there's a wisdom to the part of us that's saying, actually maybe pause and think about it. And it's only when we have that capacity and that sort of expanded, you know, spaciousness that we can actually listen to that voice and consider it versus just being like, no, let me just hurry up and be the first person to make a video on this topic. And I also want to name how amazing it is to see every challenge in your life as something that you can do some emotional processing on and release so that you can return to your baseline, which is also something I did when I was experiencing this drop in subscribers. I knew intellectually, actually, this is good for me, but there was still a part of me that was like, oh no, right? When I paused and I made space for that part of me was very young, very scared, and her worst case scenario was being alone on the street, unhoused, unsupported, vulnerable, right? So seeing the red and the minus sign and some numbers on YouTube translated to unhoused on the street, right? And so I just noticed that part of me and I just went to her and I just held my own hand and I let her feel that there was this presence with her, right? She wasn't alone. That led to some beautiful crying. And at the end of it, I felt so grateful. And I was able to then talk about it in the Hello Creator Wednesday roundtable, right? So I host this weekly meeting of creatives, folks who are either, you know, wanting to create or they're already in their creative journey. And we just sort of, you know, hold space together, give each other encouragement and support. If folks have something they're working through, I give them free coaching. There are certain things that I'm like, okay, this will be really interesting to talk about, but there's certain things that I feel some shame and some embarrassment about, so I don't feel comfortable talking about it. When I was able to do this process and meet that part of me with love, the shame and the embarrassment went away, and I could have this conversation with my peers and of course turn it into a YouTube video that'll hopefully bless other people and hopefully make other people feel a little bit better if they're either experiencing something similar or they're really scared about one day experiencing something similar. And then again, I'm back to that default of just joy and peace and gratitude. And the best part is that I'm able to keep creating, right? I saw a thread the other day that was like, you know, you made your YouTube video and it only got 50 views. And so you stopped creating and now you got 0 views. How does that make sense, right? And I thought that just really nailed the whole point, which is to keep creating, to be in this process of creating, to keep meeting new parts of yourself, to keep showing up and inspiring people. And you never know the certain things you do and your ways of being that really, really land. Speaking of, I actually had a comment from Cecilia who mentioned that she used to love it when I would pause during my videos and take a deep breath. And so I'm gonna do that now, and I'm actually gonna lead us in a little bit of a meditation. This is something I do on the Wednesday calls, and it's how I sort of, after we do our intros and say hi to each other, I just kind of lead us in a bit of a grounding meditation before we dive into our creative thing. I was thinking about making a whole separate video that's just a meditation. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. With that, I'm gonna invite you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth. We'll do one more, in through the nose. Out through your mouth. And as you sit, I want you to imagine your audience, your people. Imagine them sitting in a semicircle around you, smiling ear to ear, grateful that you've decided to show up for them. Maybe imagine them pulling out a pen and paper and taking notes on something you said that was particularly profound. Maybe if you even get some tears in their eyes because they feel so moved and so seen. Maybe a few of them even want to be your clients. You imagine them reaching into their wallet, pulling out that card. And as you look out to your audience, they smile and they say, thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here with us. We'll take one final deep breath. When you're ready, you can reopen your eyes. If you want to join me on Wednesdays, get more of that sweet meditation, you can click in the link below. It's totally free to join the Hello Creator weekly creator roundtables. If you want one-on-one support, you can find time on my calendar going to my website at chimdihazier.com. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.